Hello, my name is Lukas. I'm working at QiTASC and I'm a member of the Technical Writer department, and today I'm going to show you how to install intaQt on Linux. So, first of all, we will just go to our browser of choice and go to our main page, QiTASC.com, and there we will find the section Support and Documents and our manual. This will link you to our beautiful HTML manual. And there on the left side you see all the main chapters, and we will just go simply to our intaQt installation maintenance chapter. So we start right off with our prerequisite software installation guide and see what necessary installation we have to do before we can start intaQt. So first of all, we're gonna go for the Oracle Java Development Kit. We switch to a terminal window. And in my case, I have the Java already installed. So if you see that on your machine, you know you're good to go. But if not, I will show you simply what commands you need to install it. As you can see, you can go for these 3 commands in a row, and then it will install you the necessary packages. So secondly, we will continue by installing the QiTASC cockpit. There we switch to the QiTASC cockpit section, introduction, and there you can choose the cockpit for the operating machine. We take the Linux one, save it, simply go to our download file, and as you can see, I already downloaded it multiple times. We will copy paste it to our desktop. Open it in the terminal, and now we want to make this file executable, in this case only for the user which is using the machine. So now we can run the QiTASC file. Just take a short moment, and as you can see, now the cockpit is opened. We have 2 different tabs. One is the installed products and the available products. But before we're gonna proceed, you have this subsection here, the 3 dotted. There we can first update the cockpit. Here it says we are already on the latest version, so that's good. And then we're gonna install the Android SDK. This will take approximately 5 minutes. It's already installed on my machine, so we will skip that point for now. Next we go to our available products. We have here multiple choices, but the mandatory ones is our intaQt server, the intaQt Studio, and of course our license installer. I will simply switch back to our desktop, and as you can see, we have here my personal license, which should be on your computer before you're starting the installation. So just simply install it here, just take a while. Then we go for the intaQt Studio. It's a little bit bigger, so it will take approximately 2 minutes. After we successfully installed the intaQt Studio, last but not least, we installed the intaQt server. After installing those 3 files, we can acknowledge it and switch back to the tab Installed Products, and you can see that we have now all the server, the studio and the installer installed. As you can see, we also have this Open Manual section or option, so you will see it will open the PDF. This is quite convenient if you're on an offline machine. You will always have the PDFs installed on your machine as well. So now we're gonna proceed. We have the server, the studio and the installer in your main QiTASC home folder, here located. And now we're gonna move our QiTASC executable into our QiTASC folder and again open the terminal. So before we proceed, we will simply go a little bit back. So if you're at home, you can also find all these steps in our installation guide. And we will switch here to the QiTASC cockpit. There are all points I already mentioned are in sight. We will continue with the installation of the license. So now we have the cockpit and we already installed the intaQt server, studio and installer. And we will find all those inside our home folder. Then we simply switch back to the QiTASC folder and there we have the license installer. First, I'm gonna copy-paste my license inside our main QiTASC folder. So, and then we switch back to the terminal. Now we want to install the license. So we're gonna go to the menu. And here in the section Install and Starting intaQt, you can see how to install it. I will just copy-paste it here. And I already know that my personal license is in that particular folder. So I simply go for that. And now you can see the license is installed for the product intaQt. And my profile is set on default. You can see more options how to use profiles in our HTML menu, but I will now continue with this option. So after that, we simply start our intaQt Studio. After you put in the command, it approximately takes 1 minute. Go for create a new project. And there, just name it test for now. And here I have my IntelliJ intaQt Studio program. And the most important here is on the bottom right corner, you see this disconnected. This is just due to the fact that the intaQt server is not running. And after we get the intaQt server running, we will see it will switch to connect. Simply go for a new terminal window. Go in our main QiTASC folder, just QiTASC launch intaQt server and acknowledge. And as you can see, now it switched to connected and we successfully installed intaQt.